Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Spendley, and I am the host of From the Bench, a Knicks podcast. I'm a voiceover artist, a sports director at a radio station, and a lifelong passionate Knicks fan. I was lucky enough to be a ball boy for my New York Knicks as a 17-year-old kid. I couldn't believe I was walking around the locker room when I first started. It was unreal in 1972 and 73. And as luck would have it, both years I was there, the Knicks were in the NBA Finals. In 1972, I went to Los Angeles for games 1 and 2 of the Finals. My dad flew me out to L.A. It was my first plane flight, actually. And the Knicks took me home in their charter after the 2 games had concluded. The happiest person in the world, other than Laker fans, was my dad after receiving the refund from United Airlines. Believe me when I tell you. I sat on the Knicks bench for 2 seasons, all home games at Madison Square Garden and select road games. In the 72 finals, the Knicks beat the Lakers by 22 points in Game 1. It was a Wednesday, and I had gotten to Los Angeles at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and a few hours later was sitting at the Forum. So after that win, unfortunately, the Knicks lost the next 4. And the Lakers were the 1972 NBA champions. In fact, their first title in Los Angeles. That was the year the Lakers won 33 games in a row. Hard to believe. Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Gail Goodrich. But that was it. Season 1 was done. When the season was over, my summer highlights were going to visit Earl of Pearl Monroe, at Roosevelt Hospital in New York City. You know, most of my friends were either swimming or playing golf, and here I was at Roosevelt Hospital discussing bone spurs with Earl of Pearl and following any Knicks players who were involved in the Rucker tournament or the Baker League in Philadelphia, or for that matter, any other exhibition games around New York City. In 1973, my second and final year with the Knicks, we turned the table on the Lakers. And this time we beat them in the finals. The Lakers would beat us in Game 1, and then the Knicks came back and won 4 straight. And believe it or not, that was the last NBA championship the Knicks have ever won. Wonderful memories that, frame the way that I view and enjoy the game of basketball. So many people over the years have asked me, who was your favorite player? Earl, Willis, DeBusschere, had to be Clyde. My answer was, I love them all because there were no individuals on that team. But I'll tell you, my favorite aspect of being part of the team was my very special relationship with Coach Red Holzman. I learned more about life from Red than basketball. And, I know many of the players feel the same because we've discussed it over the years. He treated players like men, not kids. He was really tough, but fair. It was ironic, but he was tougher on the team during a winning streak than when they had lost 4 in a row. He just said when and how. It was pretty simple. My favorite times were during timeouts when I worked the Knicks bench, and I can remember so many timeout conversations during the regular season and playoff games when my hands were shaking from nerves holding the Gatorade cups, and he was in such control. Just a normal guy. Sometimes if the Knicks were down, say, by 15, with 8 minutes to go, during the timeout he would say, just get me 8 points in the next 2 minutes, and we'll be down by 7. There was no panic at all. Unbelievable. I've thought for years how I could use the Knicks as a storyline and weave in my history with the team. And I admit, it's a really very, very small history, or part of that history. Hence the name of my podcast, From the Bench, a Knicks podcast. I dedicate this first show to Red Holzman. Thanks, Red, for all the talks we had over those 2 years. I'm not going to reflect on over 50 years ago too many times, but I do it proudly because, hey, it's my story, and in many ways reflects my view of basketball. I'm a bigger Knicks fan now than ever, and I can't wait to talk to you about this current Knicks team. And make no mistake, that is what From the Bench will be about. I hope to discuss, analyze, interview basketball people, sports writers, ex-players, and normal Knicks fans as we root them on to a possible run to a championship. And above all, I want to entertain you. My family will be involved, and many friends with whom I've discussed the Knicks forever and a day. And you know what? It's just going to be a lot of fun for this fan to share these moments with all of you. And speaking of Knicks fans, if you've been enjoying the show, I'd love for you to join our members club called In the Huddle. You'll be behind the scenes with interviews, live chats, and some real Knicks talk with me and other fans. Just head to From the Bench, KnicksPodcast.com, and leave us your email, and we'll get you the information. Let's keep the conversation going. Get in the huddle. Okay, let's look at this team through 7 games. They have won 2 games back-to-back at MSG, so they climbed over 500. But more importantly, they played with overall better energy. In the Bulls rematch, in the game against the Wizards, especially the 2 guys we were concerned about, Karl Anthony Towns and Josh Hart. Hart was behind physically after missing the beginning of the season with his back spasms that he incurred over in Abu Dhabi during the exhibition game. And his body language and his play for the first few games back, they weren't good. He looked unhappy and unsure of himself. We all know he was in a bad place. And let's face it, this guy wears his heart on his sleeve, and I love that about him. He's also dealing with a finger injury that is affecting his shot. And with reduced minutes coming off the bench, that's a lot to deal with. And all good Knicks fans know Hart is an important piece of this puzzle if the Knicks are to contend for a title. A sit-down with Coach Mike Brown seems to have put Hart in a better place, and some joy has energized Josh Hart back to this team. It's amazing how he rebounds defensively and then appears out of the pack of big men and pushes the ball up court. Many times finishes on his own. Let's all agree he's a tremendous finisher. In those 2 games at MSG, he played 26 minutes each game. He averaged 13.5 points and 9.5 rebounds. And versus Washington, get this, he was a plus 21. I think 26 minutes is the sweet spot for him, especially during the regular season. You might see those minutes go up a tad in the postseason. Meanwhile, we can all agree that Karl Anthony Towns, he is a very skilled offensive player. But like Hart, he seemed to be sulking about his confusion as to where he fits in the offense. Well, if you watch the tape against Washington, he came out very aggressive against the young, inexperienced Alex Sarr. In fact, Towns beat up Sarr all night. He went for 33 points and 13 rebounds in just 30 minutes. He was energized, and he made very quick decisions. Many times when Towns passes the rock, he stands flat-foot. But against the Wizards, he moved and cut towards the basket. He even popped out after passing the ball and was open for some threes. He also had 5 assists. And don't let Towns fool you. He is a terrific passer. Towns was plus 12 against the Bulls on Sunday and plus 13 against the Wizards. So he seems to have righted the ship to this point. OG has been an anchor on defense with his steady overall play, and Brown loves to play him against different players throughout the course of a game. And I think you'll all agree the bench has been much better lately, especially Jordan Clarkson. Not only has he scored 15 in the last 2 games, but he is playing solid defense. But I got to tell you, Brown deserves the play of the week. When the team lost their 3rd road game in a row, it was Coach Brown who took responsibility for the loss in the post-game presser. He claimed his substitution pattern was all over the place, and he didn't give his players a good enough chance to win. Deflecting from the players to himself, kudos to Brown. You know, it's hard to say when a team is learning a new system where the responsibility lies in terms of percentage. But I absolutely love this play by Coach Brown. It really speaks to his coaching style. You know, he is more of a teacher than Tibbs was, and this team needs this right now. It also spurred Captain Jalen Brunson to get on the team. himself included, and he came right back and supported Brown. Maybe if the Knicks reach the top of the mountain this year, we can look back at this as a pivotal moment. But I loved to see it. I really did. I thought it was a key point in the early season report card of Coach Mike Brown. He comes out at the Garden, Jalen Brunson, and was super aggressive against the Bulls in the rematch on Sunday night from the start. He looked angry. You could see it. Brunson is not shooting the ball consistently well just yet, but that will come. He has a lot of heart and is a true leader in every sense of the word. The Knicks are extremely fortunate to have him, man. His franchise changed when he signed his first Knicks contract. We all know it. And we all know what he did for the team by accepting a lower amount. He's a winner on and off the court. And it's my hope that the rest of the Knicks can follow his lead, especially when you look back on that rematch game against the Bulls on Sunday. The anger that he showed on his face, he translated with 19 points in that first quarter, and the Knicks took over after that, the rest of the team. Thank you so much for watching the very first From the Bench, and please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. I'm inviting you to join our new members club in the Huddle. It's where I'll be having exclusive interviews, doing live shows, and hanging out in private chats with fans who bleed orange and blue, just like you. To sign up, just head over to From the Bench, KnicksPodcast.com. Leave a message in your email, and I'll get you all the information. Next time, we'll be talking with Mike Vaccaro, lead sports columnist for the New York Post. We will talk about an early Mike Brown report card and load management. Thanks again for watching, and stay focused.